We're live, bro. Oh yeah, we're
live. Good morning, everyone. I've got David Chadwick with me for a live interview. How you doing, Dave? You okay?
Yeah, I'm cracking, mate. Yeah.
Second attempt to this. Second attempt was on Zoom before, but I think it worked.
Yeah, we've got there, haven't we? Bit late, but we've got there.
That's it. So, for those who don't know, David's been working with me for nearly a year now online. We've never met in person at all.
No, we haven't. We said we would as well, though. You know, we said that we would when lockdown was over, and when the first lockdown hit. We said when this is sodded off, we'll get together for a beer, but we never have.
No, but we will do soon, mate.
Yeah, man.
We'll go for a walk and a beer.
Yeah, man.
All right, so no one's watching live yet, but if you are watching this back on the replay or you do come in on the live, hashtag replay or hashtag live. So, Dave, I met you back in May of 2020, I think it was. Tell us a little bit about where you was at that time with your health and your fitness.
Yeah, fitness-wise, I was absolutely nowhere, mate. I've always been somebody that has wanted to challenge myself, push my body to sort of, you know, places that it shouldn't go. Really, I mean, I've done marathons and Tough Mudders and what have you, but I've always been somebody that's never trained for it. You know, I trained for 3 miles and then run a marathon, and then that sort of. I had a kid 4 years ago, and it just went down the pan. Really, I ended up eating myself into a coma, putting on loads of weight. It was having an effect on, you know, my self-worth, how I felt about myself. It was having an effect on how I carried myself, you know, my presence. I was always wearing big jackets to try and cover up, you know, try and make myself look thinner, which didn't work. And stopped exercising. Yeah, I was nowhere, mate. Mentally, I was just not in a good place, really, in my head. Just like I say, it affected a lot of things. It affected my relationships with my wife, with my friends. I would rather sit in and hibernate and eat rather than go out where I would be seen. Yeah, not in a good place. I went up to 15.5 stone, which for me, I mean, I'm only 5'7.5". The half is important, by the way. I always make sure people know that there's a 5'7.5". 5'7.5", mate. 15 stone is a lot of 15.5 stone is a lot of weight. You know, so I was a big unit.
Yeah. Well, you've got a half an inch on me, mate, and I resonate with you on that. Back to my childhood, I was about 19 stone and 5'6". So yeah, I can understand how you're feeling on there. So I think when I initially reached out to you, there was a little bit of resistance there as well. I sort of persisted with it anyway.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. If I remember right, we connected through LinkedIn, and I was sat up here in my office, in my loft, which is my office, and I was browsing through LinkedIn. I was just in the process of trying to start my own company, and I think you put, if I remember right, I think you put a friend request in, and we started exchanging emails, and you offered me support at no cost, and I just thought, I've got to snap this guy's hand off here. Like I've got to take this help, because nobody is going to offer me this support at no cost ever again. Like this is a golden nugget here. I've got to take this, and that's how it felt for me. It felt like this is really the last chance for me, potentially the last chance for me to get myself into gear. And I've got to take this opportunity. So I did. And you sent me your meal books, you know, your cookbooks that you've got, JD books, which were amazing. I did the detox with you, which was for 7 days. I think I extended it and did 2 weeks or 3 weeks on the detox, and then continued working with you, building up the exercise.
Yeah, so I remember the initial detox phase. When you first looked at that, what did you think to it? It's probably something you did.
I'll be honest with you. The first thing I thought was, shit, I'll never be able to afford all this stuff, because there was so many things on there that I'd never even heard of. So it was about going out and investing loads of, like coconut oil and all these different things, the supplements and that. Bloody hell, this is a lot of stuff. But actually, when I looked at it, I went out and I did a food shop, and I probably spent 60 quid on things that I'd never bought before. But coconut oil, I bought that coconut oil a year ago. It lasts ages because you only need a little bit. So yes, I had to invest a little bit of cash in it, but I've still got half the stuff now.
So in that initial week, I can't remember the exact amount of weight that you lost, but it's quite high, wasn't it? Was it about 10 pounds?
What, in the first 2 weeks? I can't remember what it was, but it was a mass. Like it was about 10 pounds, yeah, roughly. It was a lot of weight that I dropped in 2 weeks. Yeah.
And how did that change your life from that point? Was it still a lot of work to do, or?
I did, because for me, what I did is I set myself achievable goals. So I lost about 10 pounds on the detox, and then I set myself another goal then that I knew would be achievable. But it was a game changer for me. That 10 pounds gave me my life back. It gave me my confidence back. I started wearing t-shirts again and not put a jacket on over the top. I started to go out again as much as lockdown allowed. I started to see friends, when we weren't locked down, and I started to exercise, get myself into the gym. I started to see little changes in my body that gave me that confidence boost that I needed. It was fantastic. Honestly, it gave me my life back. That did. It's great. You've frozen, James.
Yeah,
oh, don't you? Yeah. You froze for a while then, mate. You've just come back on.
I was just staring at you, mate. I was in awe. Yeah, mate.
Yeah,
I think from that point, I think from that point, then you started to realise that you could set yourself some sort of goals that you thought were impossible before you started. So you started to go back out running again, and I think you set yourself a goal for a half marathon. Was it?
Yeah. A marathon. It was. I started to run again. I've never enjoyed running. I've always hated it, but it's been about 4 years now since I've done a marathon, and I started to run again. And I thought, right, that's it now. I'm gonna get myself again and do another marathon. But this time, I'm going to train for it instead of training for 3 or 6 miles and then walking most of a marathon. I'm gonna train properly and go out and actually run it. Run as much as I can and as fast as I can. And it gave me that. I started looking at ultra marathons as well. That was another thing I started looking at, and then I started to think, this is the big here, mate. You're gonna love this one. One thing I've always wanted to do is do the I don't know how you say it, Marathon des Sables. The shoot, there was something like 18 marathons in the desert. I started to think, maybe I could do that. Maybe I'd start a couple of ultra marathons and then maybe look at some bigger stuff like that. And maybe, who knows, maybe an Ironman triathlon. I started thinking maybe I could do big, maybe I could do really big things here. If I can maintain this fitness and build it.
Yeah. So the mental shift.
So again.
The mental shifts come on quite a lot, from feeling shit about yourself to suddenly opening up all these doors in your mind that you can achieve the impossible, I guess.
That's absolutely it, mate. Yeah, it's I didn't believe in myself before I started working with you, but now I absolutely do believe in who I am and what I can achieve. And there's no limit to that, is there? I mean, if you want something, if I want something, I've got that mentality now that says, you know what, you can do it. You know, if you have to take small achievable steps to get there, fantastic. You know, take those small achievable steps. It doesn't matter whether you take big or small steps, you'll get there in the end. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just making small steps to get to where I want to be. And yeah, right, I'm 40 years old, so small steps might take me longer to get there. But you know, I'm 40, but I'm still young at heart, mate. I've still got plenty of years, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You started going to the gym as well again, which was really good, and you was getting quite far with that. And obviously we've gone back into lockdown again, and that's just frustrated us all a little bit with the gyms not being open, and we're all stuck at home. And then our mental sort of self starts to decline a little bit because we're out of the normal environment. So, what have you been doing during this lockdown?
Yeah, well, I was absolutely gutted when the gyms closed. Absolutely gutted, because we'd got to a place where I was really starting to lift, you know, decent weight, and I was enjoying it. You know, I was actually enjoying getting into the gym every day. And I'll be honest, this third lockdown, I took the biggest hit. I'd maintained quite a positive attitude for the first two, but this third one I found way more difficult. And so in this last few weeks, what I've started to do is the insanity classes, or the T25 classes. You know, the Sean T insanity stuff, which is absolutely mental, mate. I'm really enjoying it, but it is mental. It's really taking its toll on me joints. But it's like 30 minutes or 25 minutes of absolute positivity over the lockdown. Just 25 minutes a day, pure positive, hard work, and I'm absolutely loving that. And actually, I've been doing it now. This is the second week, and considering that there's no weight, you know, you're not lifting weights. It's just 25 minutes a day. I'm seeing and feeling the changes already, and I'm only in the second week. But that's working in conjunction with your 28-day program as well, because I'm repeating that. So I'm on the program with probably, you know, some of the people that'll be watching this. You know, we've done that 7-day detox. We're now into the 14-day program. Carb cycling, and so doing the exercise, the 25 minutes a day with the diet that you're setting. I'm seeing the changes already, mate.
Yeah, and you're doing that first thing in the morning, right? So
doing it first thing in the morning, yeah.
And I think that's really important, that exercise is at first thing in the morning, because it does set you up for the day, clears your mind, and then you can just attack the day with your work or whatever you got to do, and you've not got to worry about it later on. That's always been my view. After sort of 4 o'clock, I'm pretty much switched off, and I can't bring myself to do anything after that point.
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because everybody's schedules are very different. But I know, I mean, I've done night shifts. Fortunately, I'm in a place now where, you know, my job is pre-COVID. It's different now because I'm literally just working from home. But pre-COVID, my job was, you know, I'd get up early in the morning and I'd drive an hour to get to work in Walsall, and then do a full day and drive back. And for me at that point, I'd get home from work and I'd just switch off. I was knackered, and I just wanted to have tea and sit down. For me, the only time for me, like you, is first thing in the morning. And if that means I've got to get up, you know, half an hour or an hour earlier before the kids get up, or before the wife gets up or whatever, just get it done first thing in the morning, over and done with. And then, you know, I can relax, can't I? You know, I've got the day to do what I want to do. Say I'm working from home, but I haven't got to worry about fitting it in during the day. It's done.
Yeah, and that's important when you've got a family as well, isn't it? Because at night time you want to spend your time with the family most days, I guess. Frustrating it can be with kids and homeschooling as well. So, yeah, making that time for yourself in the morning is so important. So you're just setting yourself up for the day, really.
Yeah, and the missus will come back from work, and it means my exercise is done, so we've got the evening together then.
Yeah,
I've been trying to encourage her to do some T25 with me. She's not taking bait yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
She's taking the glances through the window at me doing mine, and I think it put her off.
Awesome.
I don't know whether that was I don't know whether it was the insanity class that put her off, or watching me and stretchy lycra that put her off. Who knows?
Yeah, awesome results, mate. So since you started way back in May, you was 15 and a half, did you say?
Yeah.
Where are you now?
13.3. Well, I'm just a tad over 13.3 now, because I went down to 13.3, and then came up at Christmas to 13.7, which was to be expected, and then I've just started dropping down again now.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed as well is, though, that I'm putting on muscle, so that's having a bit of a play around on the scales. I was starting to look at the scales and thinking, why ain't that coming down? But then I was looking at my body fat, but my body fat was going down, muscle mass was going up.
Yeah, we had the conversation on, was it Monday?
Yeah.
This is once you get to that certain point and you're leveling out with your weight, or your weight might be going up, but your inches are coming down, your clothes are getting looser, then we know we're heading in the right direction and body fat's coming off for sure. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it, mate. That's pretty much it. It's been a really good year working with you. Nice and easy. Just got on with it. That's what we like.
Well, I think if you're not in that frame of mind, it's hard. But if you can just get yourself, kick yourself up the arse, get yourself into that frame of mind where you're going to say, I'm going to give everything I've got at this for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm going to go at it, give it 100%. You'll see massive changes.
Yeah. It's just those initial steps.
It's about just investing yourself in that opportunity and giving it 100%.
Yeah. It's always difficult when you're in that sort of frame of mind where you're struggling with everything. You've got all these different stresses going on in your life. Everything's coming at you. So you're not going to be thinking, no, I'm going to go do some exercise. No way. So it's sort of meeting people where they are at the time. And that's why with you. So I was like, well, I know he needs help and he's clearly struggling. So I'll give him this to get him going. And once he sees some results, then I know that you can build on that.
Yeah. And we did, mate.
We did. And there we are.
And we've got more to do.
Say again?
We've got more to do.
We have got more to do, yeah. As soon as those gyms are open again, mate, we're back on the programme and we're going to smash those weights back up.
Yeah, man.
Get hench and six pack and all that, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty much it, guys. If you are watching this back on the replay, #replay, any questions are popping below. I'll put a link up in the chat as well if anyone wants to book a free Zoom session. The idea of those is we spend 45 minutes to find out where you are at the moment in your health and your fitness, put a few points together, a plan of action, and see if we can work together moving forward. So that's pretty much it. There's no obligation on that. David, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate you coming on this early in the morning. I'm happy with your results so far, mate. You've done really well on your progress, and we're going to get some more coming up. So thank you very much, mate. And I'll see everyone later.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.